Serap charges National Assembly to stop President Buhari from selling government properties. Edo government to arrest persons without face masks in public. Ondo cemetery guards arrested over exhumed dead body. On business, total assets under contributory pension hits 12.29 trillion naira. And in sports, Mesut Ozil confirms leaving Arsenal for Fenerbahce. Details of these and more after this break. I am Charles Oporum. Now the news in detail. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has asked the National Assembly to stop President Muhammadu Buhari from selling government properties to fund the 2021 budget. SERAP, in a statement issued on Sunday by its Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadari, appealed to the Senate President, Ahmed Lawan, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, to bar the President from carrying out such moves via a letter addressed on the 16th of January. The group noted that the National Assembly has a constitutional and oversight responsibility to protect valuable public properties and to ensure responsible budget spending. The statement pointed out that allowing the government to sell public properties and to enjoy almost absolute discretion to borrow to fund the 2021 budget would amount to a fundamental breach of constitutional provision. The organization also called for a change in the country's fiscal planning through some combination of cuts in spending on salaries and allowances and a freeze on spending in certain areas of the budget, such as hardship and furniture allowances, entertainment allowances, international travels, and buying of vehicles and utilities for members and the presidency. The federal government says it is mandatory for foreign diplomats to obtain the national identity numbers. It said an enrollment center has been established for them at the Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Dr. Issa Pantami, said the special center will be managed by his ministry. Pantami, in a statement by his technical assistant, Dr. Femi Adeluyi, on Sunday said the center was being set up based on a request of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyama. According to the statement, the enrollment center will provide support for members of the diplomatic corps and will be managed by the Federal Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy through the National Identity Management Commission, NIMC. The governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, says the state government will deploy over 800 police constabulary personnel across the state to enforce strict compliance with the state's regulations to check the spread of the coronavirus. He said defaulters will be prosecuted and those found guilty will be convicted by mobile courts across the state. He insisted that wearing face masks in public was compulsory, while stating that those convicted by the mobile court will be regarded as ex-convicts. The state deputy governor, Comrade Philip Shaibu, added that there will be enforcement teams in markets, parks, and other public places to ensure strict compliance, saying that the police constabulary structure will be mobilized to ensure that all those who break the law were punished. Chairman of Ovia Southwest Local Government, Honorable Destiny Enabulele, has assured that he will continue to invest in infrastructure to improve basic infrastructure to reawaken the economy of the council. Honorable Enabulele gave the assurance when he officially relocated and opened a new ultra-modern market at Udo community in the council. He said the decision to move the market to Udo was due to strategic nature of the community and its potential for enhancing the commercial fortune of the council. The handover of the market was witnessed by traditional rulers, Market Women Association, amongst other groups. Also, the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, has given conditions for admitting corps members into camps nationwide amid the COVID-19 pandemic. This comes ahead of the commencement of the 2020 Batch B Stream 2 orientation course on January 19th. In a series of tweets at the weekend, the agency said prospective corps members must possess a clearance certificate showing that they are not COVID-19 positive. According to the tweet, it is imperative to restate that everyone coming into the NYSC camps must undergo COVID-19 tests, corps members and officials alike, He said only those that test negative are admitted into the camps. The federal government had on March the 18th, 2020, ordered the immediate closure of the NYSC orientation camps nationwide over COVID-19 fears. Coming up in the moment after the break, Navy arrests 24 illegal oil bunkerers in Ondo State. Stay with us, please.
At split seconds, there is a lot happening around us, but we can't be everywhere all the time. We've got work, families, and chores to cater to, and most importantly, time to rest. And that's why having reliable partner like KUFM News is important. Sleeping? We don't. We work round the clock, bringing you stories as they break from Nigeria and across the world. We would stop at nothing to keep you informed, because KUFM News is all about you and stories that affect you. Politics, business, human interests, sports, entertainment, just name it. We've got you covered. KUFM News. Timely, precise, spot on.
Welcome back. Men of the Nigerian Navy Ondo State have arrested 24 illegal oil bunkering suspects in Abereke, a riverine community in the oil-producing Ilaje local government area of Ondo State. The commanding officer of the naval base, Captain Shuaib Ahmed, who briefed journalists on Sunday, said the suspects were arrested on January the 12th by a patrol team at sea along Ondo-Lagos route offshore Mahin. Ahmed said the patrol team apprehended the suspects with 6 boats containing thousands of liters of automotive gas oil, otherwise known as diesel oil, empty drums, empty GP tanks, pumping machines, outboard engines, and generating sets. He appealed to the general public, especially the communities where the base operates, to assist in providing meaningful information in curbing all forms of economic sabotage, like crude oil theft, illegal bunkering, and crimes such as kidnapping and piracy. Still in Ondo State, 2 cemetery security guards have been arrested by the men of the Ondo State Security Network Agency, Amoteco, for allegedly being in possession of heads of the dead bodies buried in the cemetery at Trulere area of Ondo Town, Ondo State on Sunday. It was gathered that one of the security guards, identified as Alhaji, was caught with a bag containing a head of dead bodies by the residents of the area. A source in the area said the cemetery where the crime was allegedly committed belongs to an old generation church in the community. When contacted, the state commander of Amoteco, Chief Adetunji Adeleye, confirmed the arrest of the suspects, saying they were rescued when the residents were about lynching them. A petroleum dealer, Suleiman Akimbami, who was kidnapped in Ado Ekiti, the Ekiti state capital, last Sunday night, was set free by his kidnappers on Sunday afternoon after spending a week in captivity. He was abducted about 9 p.m. last Sunday at his petrol station along Ado Ijon Ekiti Road by the gunmen. A source close to the family said Akimbami had reunited with his family. The police public relations officer, Ekiti State Command, Sunday Abutu, who confirmed the release of the oil merchant, said he was released around 3 p.m. somewhere in Kogi State. Abutu said men and officers of the command had not rested since he was whisked away last week. Coming up in a moment on our business news, total assets under the contributory pension scheme rises to 12.29 trillion naira. Details of these and more after this short break. Stay with us, please.
1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 600 billion, and the last kobo. Oh yes, we follow the money. It's all about the business and the business of business, the gains and the losses, the bulls and bears, the rise and falls, the risk and the satisfaction of seeing the last kobo rise to millions. On KUFM's Business News, the simple and complex jargons of business just make sense. Get the trending news on the morning market, forecast, investment opportunities, policy changes, and other breakout information on the ever-busy world of business. KU Business News, Monday to Friday on our news dawn, 6:30 to 7 a.m.
Welcome back. You're still on to News Dawn on 92.7 KUFM Benin City, and on business. The total assets under the contributory pension scheme rose to 12.29 trillion naira as of the end of November 2020. Figures obtained from the National Pension Commission in its report on unaudited report on pension funds industry for the period ended 30th November 2020. According to the figures, 80.14 trillion naira of the funds had been invested in federal government securities. Other areas where the funds were invested are domestic and foreign ordinary shares, corporate debt securities, local money market securities, and mutual funds. Recently, PENCOM disclosed in its third quarter report on issuance of pension clearance certificates that 5,432 employers were cleared for having pension and insurance covers for their workers in the third quarter of 2020. This compliance allowed them to be able to do federal government businesses. And finally, in business, the share of dividend remitted to the federal government by the Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas Company between January and December 2020 exceeded the projected target in the 2020 revised budget of the government by 63.62 billion naira. Nigeria LNG Limited is one of the world's top 10 suppliers of liquefied natural gas. A document obtained from the Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning on the federal government revenue performance in 2020 showed that the government projected a retained revenue of 80.38 billion naira as its share of dividend from NLNG in the 2020 revised budget. The government, however, got 144 billion naira from the gas company as actual dividend during the review period, representing an increase of 63.62 billion naira when compared to the target for the year. This represents 79% higher value than the 80.38 billion naira projected target in the 2020 revised budget. The revenue performance document also showed that the federal government garnered more revenue than it projected in the 2020 revised budget from oil. And that's it on business. And in sports, Mesut Ozil confirms leaving Arsenal for Fenerbahce. This and more on our sports bulletin shortly. Stay with us. Arsenal forward Mesut Ozil confirmed on Sunday that he was leaving the club for Turkish team Fenerbahce after being frozen out for months at the Gunners. Former Germany forward Ozil said that he would be traveling to Istanbul with his family on Sunday evening, bringing to an end a 7.5-year relationship with Arsenal that turned sour under current coach Mikel Arteta. The 32-year-old has not played for the Premier League team since March 2020, and his reported deal on a weekly salary of $350,000 was set to expire at the end of the current season. However, he claimed in Sunday's interview that he is in good physical condition despite his lengthy period on the sidelines. Fenerbahce, one of Istanbul's 3 big clubs, are currently second in the league behind Besiktas. And that's it on sports. And of course, with that sports story, we come to the end of our package this evening. But before we leave, a quick recap of the headlines. Sarab has charged the National Assembly to stop President Buhari from selling government properties. Edo State government is to arrest persons without face masks in public. And Ondo cemetery guards have been arrested over an exhumed dead body. Do remember that the continued unity of Nigeria is a collective responsibility. Be sure to play your part. Do not forget, you can listen to us anywhere in the world by visiting our website at www.kufm.net, or you can download our mobile app from the Google Play Store. We are also live on YouTube at KUFM Nigeria, and you can also listen to us on radiogarden.com. KUFM News Dawn was produced by Nosakai Uwadiai. I am Charles Oporum saying thanks for listening and good morning.
KUFM.
Welcome you to this Health Enlightenment program. I have in the studio with me Prince Omo Ebosele JP, the Ibakbera of Traditional Medicine, the CEO of Ebo's Herbal Remedy. Of course, you know, Prince Omo Ebosele is here to educate, counsel, and talk about those things you need to know about your health. Today,